So we are recording. Um, so you should be able to see on the screen just a quick little manager meeting. 8/17/2020. It sounds, I can't believe it's already fall season. I guess it's even a little weirder since there was no spring season. So we're skipping right to the fall. So first, I did want to jump in and say thank you right away to all of our new managers. Okay, thank you very much for stepping up and to help out. You are a very important linchpin in the communication process here from the club to our families, right? And you're also the eyes and ears for the club because sometimes people will come to you and you'll actually be able to discern after a while who has a valid concern or who just likes to talk and complain. And they just have to complain about everything. They complain about the school, they complain about whatever there is. So you guys end up becoming that kind of happy medium. The one thing I ask is that whoever does come to you with a concern or complaint or suggestion, I do ask that you let me know. Because the one thing that happens is I may not follow up with all of them, but at least I'm aware of them because just so you know, as a manager, what ends up happening is people see you in a position of power. I know that's not why you did this, but people believe that's a position of power, and that if they come to you with a question or comment, then that you are somehow able to make it happen, or that you've somehow moved it up the chain to the authority. And then if something occurs down the road, they always say, well, I spoke to the manager about it. So I would like to make sure that those kind of conversations you may have that you may feel are unimportant or really small, I like to just know about it. A text, a quick email, just say, hey, this parent so-and-so. Or if you know about someone having a tough time in life, people, a lost job, a lost loved one, someone is sick, things that we can do to help a family out, please also let us know. Because I think those are things that we should try and do since, I don't want to just say we're a family club and not be one. We should be there for people. So if you hear about any of those things, please let me know. But again, I just want to thank you for being, the conduit for communication for your team. And also you could be the bottleneck, right? So either you're going to be very good at it or you're going to be the bottleneck effect, which means people aren't going to get the information. So I'm hoping that you will be able to articulate and pass along our information as quickly as possible. I would like to welcome and thank Lindsay. She's done a fantastic job already being the manager liaison. She was kind of begged, and coerced into doing it, right? And she volunteered willingly after I begged her to help out. So she's done a fantastic job of getting you guys information and examples and samples and templates. So Lindsay, thank you very much for all that you're doing. And you have a proud sister over there, so that's great. And then Aaron is on the call. Aaron is coming over and working with us from our Mansfield group that has now joined Legacy. And we're very excited to have our Mansfield friends and neighbors working with us. So Aaron is also on the call. So thanks, Aaron, for everything that you've done and for bringing over some incredible families to join the Legacy program. So thank you. And then I'm going to move on. So the governor's update. Everyone's confused by it. Some people have no idea what it means. Some people don't care. Other people bring politics into it. I could care less where you stand. I can care less where your parents stand. From a political point of view, it doesn't matter. The governor gave very specific orders as to what youth sports can do and to how we can make youth soccer viable and able to play. What Massachusetts youth soccer did is took the governor's orders and flipped them and just made everything that the governor said, we counteracted as Mass Youth Soccer to allow us to play. So they said you can't have contact. So we've taken away heading so that there's minimal contact head to head and in the air, right? We've also taken away throw-ins. You won't be touching the ball with the hands anymore. We've taken away shoulder to shoulder right now. And I want to make it clear, these are suspended. They're not eliminated. They're suspended during the COVID-19 period. I think that has to be very clear. We're not eliminating from the game. We're suspending them for now, just so we can get soccer to be played. So there are a bunch of rules. I'm going to send this out to you so you can have it. I put a quick little video together that we'll send out tonight with our message to club, the number one thing we're going to do that parents need to know about is we're going to have the kids wear masks. So the kids are going to wear masks at practice and in games. That will allow us to continue to play, and will allow us to, the coaches and I are meeting right after this to talk about how they can implement a quality training session, training program, all with the use of masks and using the modified rules. So I just want you to know that we're not going to go into super detail. If any parent wants to read the 15-page document, they're more than welcome to read it on Mass Youth Soccer. We'll send out the link today. I'm going to give a 1 minute and 45-second kind of synopsis of a few things. And all it's going to say at the end is kids wear masks to the field, on the field, from the field. That means we'll be allowed to play soccer for now. And the coaches will enforce other modifications. So in short, that's what it is. So I'll take some questions on that now if you have any.
John, Mass Youth Soccer also put out that 1-page blurb too that's quick to read if parents want that.
I have it. It's on here as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that later. I just want to make sure we got any other questions you guys may have. All right, great. Going through fall training, we're going to have to be flexible. I mean, I'm going to get through this. So here's the agenda. I can come back to this later. Fall, winter, spring, Memorial Day. So no uniforms, no worries. I get it. Sometimes right now, everybody and their cousin is backed up. As a matter of fact, our former supplier from right down the road here has only received up to 20% of the orders that they were expecting. So everybody is ordering last minute into pipelines and waiting to see how the season goes. So we're way ahead of the curve. Most of our families have ordered. We're just waiting for delivery. So the league, I've already spoke to the league. I know someone in that position, and the league is going to has made a decision that they're not going to worry about if clubs have full uniforms or not for the first couple games. So we will have a opportunity to just play and make it work. So don't worry about the uniforms at all. Here's a tentative training schedule. This is going to change, so it's why it hasn't been sent out. We're working right now, confirming with the governor's office what they mean by field space, by playing surfaces, and what exactly we can get onto an 11v11 field. We used to be able to have, 2 to 3 teams at a time training. Now there's a set number of players you can have training with a specific cohort that they have to train at. So there's a couple of things that we're navigating with the governor. We may have to move some teams around. All right, we may have to move a couple of teams over either to Easton or a couple of teams over to Norfolk, but we also have to navigate the indoor restrictions. So we're determining that as well. So just so you know, this is the tentative schedule. We've had a couple of drafts already. We will let you know exactly how it comes about. You'll see that we've shortened times for the younger kids to an hour already. We're probably gonna have to shorten the time for every age group to an hour based on the governor's restriction, asking us to shorten the time of training to also minimize contact. So we're probably gonna go to an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes for the older kids if we can, but we're getting clarification from them. I will not send this out yet. We just want you to know we have it done. We just don't have the ability to send it out yet because the governor's new guidelines make this a little bit different and we have to change it a bit. So Coach Aaron and I are going to be working on this along with Coach Bradley tomorrow to finagle and see where we got to go. But keep in mind, please, managers, this is all dependent on if nothing else changes right between now and then, right? Hopefully it changes for the better, right? And we'll relieve some stress. But if not, well, we're going to be dealing with this. So I wasn't leave this page blank and just say, we're working on it, but I want you to know that we do have it done. It's just a matter of being flexible now. There's also something that we'll talk about, and the staff is talking about this tonight, which is to kind of navigate the rules a bit and use them to our advantage. Training groups are very unique, in which we'll be able to train our team, select our own cohort just fine, and they can play against each other. I've confirmed that, but we also may add a couple of practice game days. So like maybe on a Tuesday will be our training day, Thursday may be our game day, intra-club, like within Legacy, but just to get some games going, okay? And then we're gonna have a virtual day right from the beginning, which would be a training day, a physical fitness day, a physical athletic day, athleticism day. It could be a technical day, just so kids can go click on a link for a half an hour and do an exercise and a workout with the coach. So we're gonna keep that into our repertoire here because it's something that isn't going away. And then also one thing we have new now is we'll never miss a day of training. If you can't go outside for Thunder and Lightning, the kids will go on Zoom. Okay, the snow days are all gone from now on. The missed practices are all gone from now on because the new world has shown us that we can survive and make up a day here or there online. So we'll never cancel another practice. We'll just move a technical training or a game analysis onto our online. So this is a training schedule. Thoughts or questions about that?
John, on that, just from the different facilities, we are making sure that every parent on the schedule, there'll just be a reminder of rules for each facility, right?
Correct. So once we send this out, everything's going to be accompanied, and on our website, we'll have a little site, a little page that will say training facilities, right? And I'll say rules and regulations of COVID-19, because for example, Mansfield will have a little bit different rules than Easton, which have a little different rules than Norwood, which are completely different than Four Kicks. Four Kicks Taunton, you are not allowed on the field at all, parents. They're going to have streaming available online, but no parent will be on any field in Taunton at this moment. So just so we're clear, like people may complain, it's not my rule. It's going to be the rule of facilities. Your kids will walk in, your kids will have to walk out, you'll have to be in your car or maybe along the fence. So Taunton Four Kicks will be the most strict of all of these situations, and they are offering live stream. So just so you get an idea. But yeah, Aaron, we will have that on our website once we finalize all the facilities.
I just have a quick question for the Mansfield site. Is that where the Columbus Day tournament is played, that complex, or is it a different one?
Yep, it's Plymouth Street Complex. That's the one. And that's also probably going to be under the rules of parents stay in their cars because, I mean, for practice, we only use the turf field anyway.
Okay.
For games, it will be that as well.
Thanks.
Great questions. We'll come back to them again. So the fall tournament and league update. The league is still planning to go ahead, right? Even with the modifications from the governor, we're going to go ahead with the league. We've already made some modifications within our own league. We were actually ahead of the curve, which is great. So we're planning on playing September 13th, 20th, 27th, October 4th, taking off Columbus Day, 25th, then November 1st, and then we are a makeup day for November 8th. Someone may ask, well, what if we have to get delayed? That we'll push it out to the 8th and 15th, right? Well, how can we start before the MIAA? Youth sports and MIAA have no correlation. So I just want to make that clear. Youth sports and MIAA have no direct correlation. So just because youth sports is playing does not mean MIAA is playing, which stinks, right? Don't get me wrong. I kind of wish MIAA was definitely playing, especially this year. So we will be playing. We'll send that information. Our schedule is being worked on right now. We should have a first draft to our managers by this weekend. Okay. Again, the challenge with this is over the weekend when this restriction was announced, 4 clubs dropped out. 4 clubs dropped out because parents don't want to play in the fall under those modifications and restrictions. And there's another club dropped out. 2 of them were from Rhode Island, and there's a couple other challenges with out-of-state teams playing against other, Massachusetts teams. So just so, again, we're going to have to be very fluid, and I can't stress enough how flexibility is going to be needed. NEFC tournament / event that we try to continue to have has now been canceled because of the governor's orders, because they just can't make it work with the restrictions. So the tournament that was supposed to be on the 28th, 29th, 28th, 29th, 20th, the 30th, will have to be changed. And we'll have to make it on another, I put up here on the first show, the first slide, we'll reschedule for a winter or spring event for now. That's what we'll do. We just can't do it. I mean, I can't put us anywhere no one's playing. Someone asked, can we just go to Seacoast United? Logistically, it's just too difficult to plan right now. And I have way too many parents that I've talked to, and that Labor Day was not an expected tournament day. So there's different plans for Labor Day tournaments, right? I mean, Labor Day that families have. So I can't take us to the Seacoast tournament right now. Plus, it kind of goes against the spirit of us not traveling to another state and the whole COVID-19 guidance that our state governor is giving us is not to do this. So to just skip out and go to New Hampshire, I think is kind of trying to cheat it. Although other sports are doing it. So we will reschedule this. Plans for winter 20 and 21. So I put this on here. It's going to be winter is completely open at the moment. We're going to try and do the 2 days of training, continue to work on the skill development, maybe enter a league, or we were going to create an internal league. We'll be online for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that we will be doing the Legacy Virtual Training Academy at some point between now and next March, April. I mean, I can guarantee we'll be back to the Legacy Virtual Training Academy. We've updated it a bit. We're refreshing it now. We're making enhancements to it. So we're excited about what it's going to look like, but we have to be prepared for that. Our winter usually starts, managers, anyone who's new to the organization, January week, the first week of January. We usually go 8 to 9 weeks, and it's a weekend session and a weekday session, depending on your team, and maybe 2 weekdays. That's what we ended up doing. We're looking to do that similar format. We're also looking to have a internal every other weekend, or every 2 weekends, I think it was, gameplay. But we had to be careful. We can't plan any of that for now because we just don't know what kind of events we're allowed to have and if they're even going to allow us to play indoor. To be honest, that's the challenge, whether they'll allow us to play indoor. So the club is already looking to rent outdoor time in January, February, and March on outdoor turf, because if you looked at this past year, we could have been outside playing starting January all the way through March. Would have been cold, but would have been outside. So we're already looking to secure outdoor time just in case we can't use the winter space. So we're trying to get ahead of it. It's just hard to pay for all this space and time, right? Knowing that we've collected a set amount, right? So that's the one challenge we're facing right now. For the spring, the plan is the 2 tournaments, Memorial Day and the preseason tournament, and then we'll try to maybe add this fall one, either in the winter or in the spring again. And the CCL New England is our preferred league. However, I need to be honest, depending on how things shape up after this COVID-19 world, I have no idea what clubs will be around. I have no idea what leagues will be around. I have no idea what leagues will look like. We just don't, there's a lot of unknowns and uncertainty. So we'll enter the best league possible for our kids to keep us as regional as possible, but also provide us the competition we need for our better level teams. So Aaron and I will navigate that. And I'm pretty comfortable we'll land in some good spots. But obviously CCL New England will be our first choice for a league to play in the spring. So how about winter or spring? Knowing that it's way out there, questions or comments on that for now? Aaron, anything you want to add from your side? I know that the Mansfield folks may not have had all of this initially, but I think this is a fair opportunity for everyone to enjoy playing a lot more, hopefully, in games. Anything else you want to add?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think we are all fully aware that, right now we are dealing with the COVID times, but there's also going to be the introduction of Triple E. So, being flexible and fluid is going to be key, especially, best case scenario, hopefully into the new year when everything gets a little bit more normal if we get there. But then speaking about winter, it still feels like a lifetime away right now in this anyway. So we'll get there.
So the next thing I wanted to chat about so the Memorial Day tournament, we call more of a celebration and tournament because whenever we've been there, we have an amazing time. We've had up to 300 people come to a pizza party that we have as a club. The last time we were all together, which, this year we're in a 1-year celebration of our, our last celebration with Scott Dolan, into 2019, he was there. So we had a big, big shindig in his honor. And it was just a lot of fun, to be honest. Everyone who was there, the kids are playing, and we're with friends from all over the place come in. And so we booked the entire Arbor Village. And last year, for this 2020, we booked the whole thing solid. We actually started to creep into other villages because families had enjoyed it so much. So we've already booked Arbor Village again. As a club, we're all going to start, selling or whatever, booking those rooms in January to get it secured and done. And then if we need to extend into because we have many more teams now, but I only booked the same village because I'm not going to overextend. But I have been promised that they will extend the village right next door. And then just so we're clear, they fully refunded every single person that put money down towards their rooms for this booking. I heard a lot of people lost money because they went Airbnb or V&V. They tried to go independent and people got burned. No one got burned at all that went through this process because we go straight through Ocean Edge with the relationship I have with them. So it really worked out well. And we've kept the same fee from last year for this year. And they have guaranteed that if the fee is lower, they will match that fee. So pretty happy with it. And I just give you that information out because people always ask about where we're going. For this year, we're going to go to the New England Soccer Classic again on the Cape for that tournament to finish that up. And then, we'll end there for a sec. So return to play and masks. So managers, you remember that about 2 months ago or 3 months ago, we had a meeting and I asked about, do we get masks? Do we not get masks? I didn't want to, I didn't want to publicize the COVID-19. And at that point, we chose not to get masks. Question now is, they're going to have to wear masks. Do we allow or not allow? Do we offer that each family buy a legacy mask? There are other clubs that have now done this. Funny, we would have been 3 months ahead of the curve, but now there's clubs that are offering, I know our partners at NEFC are doing it for $9 a mask with their NEFC logo. That's because that's what it costs. I've looked into it. So for 500 masks, if we were to buy 500 masks, it would be about $9 per mask to have a logoed mask that will be one of these designs, and it would be the elastic mask that goes over your ears. Okay, not the tie-in, the one that goes over your ears, which is what they're requiring right now. Okay, I just wanted to have a quick conversation if you guys think it would make sense for us to offer this, at least not mandate it, but just offer it to our families.
Hey, John, no gators, right? That's a rule?
No gators.
Yeah.
I mean, although that would be really easy, to be honest, that would be so much easier to play with. At the pull up and down, if they're going to be running that mile, you know what I mean? And then have to come back up the field. But we're not allowed to do it.
So I don't think there's any harm in offering them. If you're not requiring them and it's, it's something the kids can have in common, I don't think it hurts to offer them.
All right, so seeing no one's opposed, because I've got some great text, thank you everybody, and chats. Seems like no one's opposed, so we'll go ahead and I'll secure some pricing on that. Heather, you had something? Sorry.
No, I was going to say, Todd actually had mentioned we should get, face masks and you could put the logo on it because I'm, Susie Homemaker and have a lot of time to do that. But I did order some youth masks from soccer.com. They do run, the youth ones definitely run pretty small, but they're just plain gray.
Yeah, so my problem is so these are going to be customized.
Right, which I love.
And we just have to pick, my suggestion would just go with the Superman logo. It's easy. It's the one on the right. It's simple. It's black, and that's it. That's. But I'm very boring. Like my wife says, I'm boring. So like, if someone else has another opinion of like something else, I'm open to it. But the black is fine for me. So.
John, do the elastics around the ears have adjusters on them?
It's a good question. I'll ask.
Because I think that's important, just because that will help, even if they're a little big. Being able to adjust them will help.
It's a great question, but Heather, did yours have it or no?
Sorry. No, it didn't. It didn't. And Justin Smith's face is tiny, but it fit his face perfectly. But I went and ordered the adult sizes just to have a couple for Jake.
Okay.
But
So
the
I will
youth
ask-
ones were definitely smaller than I anticipated them to be.
So I will do this. I will ask, from a math perspective, of the adjuster, right? I'll ask for a better sizing chart, because some of the challenges, like a sizing chart works, but there's a lot of mistakes, unfortunately, with the sizing chart.
And if anyone wants to see what the youth ones look like, I ordered a bunch for my U11 team, so I'm happy to bring them
Adjusters and
to
sizing
practice.
chart. And then we're okay with the boring Superman logo, yes?
I'm fine with it.
Perfect. All right, so we'll take that on to get the math and sort that out.
Go.
You're gonna get to the boring part, but you can read about this. I don't need to go over it with you, but it's the modifications, all right, for the sport itself. If you haven't read it, it's a lot. There is no heading, okay? Heading would be an immediate indirect free kick. There is no shoulder to shoulder. So Molly, you would be very unhappy in this environment, Molly. You couldn't kill anybody in this one. And probably Eve. You couldn't push people down and kick people. So we also have no slide tackling. This one Aaron is really upset about, because he likes to slide tackle from 6, 12 feet, 13 feet. We can't slide tackle at all. So all this is being suspended right now, right? So the throw-ins are also being suspended. Corner kicks are being suspended. So when you read this at first, you may be like, John, what in the world? Why are we going to play? Because it's about the kids. It's not about our egos. We believe soccer to be one thing as a purist. We want soccer to be played the way we played it. But let me tell you something. My high school boys play exactly these rules the day before a big game. I don't want them going head-to-head contact, getting concussion, getting injured. So we play literally by these rules right before a big game or before all of our games. So I can live a season playing with these rules as long as our kids can get outside and play. I know some people are not in favor of it. They want the real game. And I got to be honest, the competitive part of me wants the real game, right? I want the real game. But if this is what we have to do to get our kids out there, I want you to understand. I hope you all support it and can share it in as positive a light as I am, which is we just want to see our kids play, right? And get out there and play. And we're helping mitigate some of this by making them play with masks. Even if we're not perfect at all these other modifications, playing with the masks will help us still stay in compliance.
John, so it's the ref's discretion if someone uses shoulder to shoulder, right?
Yes, it's the ref. So everything's the referee.
So, I mean, sometimes it's hard for those young adults to control a game in general. Like, are they going to be retrained? Do we know anything? Maybe this is
Yes.
a little.
So we know that the referees have passed the buck on to the leagues to coach. The referees are teaching, as you'll read here, IFAB, which are the international rules of the game. That's what they teach and certify. They are not going to be teaching the modified rules. Each league will have to ask the referees to abide by these laws and rules. And each league will have to help communicate to these families that this is what we're trying to do. So please be patient with the referees.
So, and then if the whistle blows, it's just an indirect kick.
There'll be literally everything is an indirect restart. Like it seems like, doesn't matter what, just guess it's an indirect. Because you shouldn't be able to push anyone down. You shouldn't be able to kick anyone. So you can't really get a direct kick anymore because you shouldn't be close enough to get a direct kick, which is very strange. It's going to take a lot of getting used to. Like tomorrow, we're already going to start implementing this at our small-sided play in Easton, right? So we'll start to implement some of these rules just so the kids can get used to it, running with their face mask in their hand, running with their mask below their chin when they're making a long sprint, then put it back up when they're playing in a tight environment. So we'll start to help them understand when they have to do it. It's going to be hard for all of us, but it's the new norm for us. This is going to be available which is why I can't go through the. We'll send this out as a link to parents. Anyone who's interested in reviewing this, they can do so. However, my video is in 1 minute and 45 seconds, and I cover this in about 25 seconds, which says we're wearing masks. And that's it. What's up, Eve? You're laughing. Oh,
Because you said it's gonna disconnect us.
say it again?
Sorry, I thought you said that like in 1 minute and 45 seconds. in
Oh,
your
no,
video.
no, no, no. 1 minute 45. My video is 1 minute 45. No, I'm not the,
I thought you meant your Zoom was like on a time stamp of
No, I don't buy the cheap version of Zoom.
35 minutes.
I own Zoom. I'm not like those people who claim to have Zoom for 40 minutes. Oh, hey, by the way, guys, I got to go. My kids fell off the chair. Blah, and hang up and then call you back. You know, I own it.
Disconnect us.
I did buy it. Don't worry. So this is the situation we're in. So when parents ask you questions, don't try to answer them because even I don't have all the final answers on this one. This is all been very fluid. So we'll have this link out tonight in addition to the video. So questions or comments on this, and that's questions, and that's it. We're done. So let me stop sharing. So there's a question about the COVID officers, okay? And I'll answer that and then open up the questions. I mean, Greg, why don't I let you, since you're on the call, I don't want to, you can ask about the COVID duties, but the contact tracing, I'll just say quickly, your team you need to require that they fill out the RSVP online. If they can't do the RSVP on Sports Engine, then we have a serious problem with our family. They need to be able to do it. If they can't do it, then they need to email you and say, listen, I am coming or not coming. We just need an electronic record or a record that they're present. Coaches will also be taking attendance, but it'll be a lot easier if we can just use the team Sports Engine app to track it, right? That's how easy it is. It's rather simple. Doesn't have to be anything high strung or stressed out. We just have to remind our families about social distance as our managers, because you'll kind of be like our, de facto COVID officer for the team by just telling people, hey, make sure you're socially distant, make sure you're wearing a mask, make sure the spectators are doing this. Please follow the league's rules. We'll have to update our website over the next 2 days with a whole COVID page, links to the sites, and then obviously facility links. So we'll help take care of that. So it's a great question. And if you need further clarification, just send it along because it was anonymous. So I'll just keep it anonymous. Just send me along any other additional. And Greg, anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's it. We'll reemphasize it all. I'll send it out to Lindsay, and we'll get all the resources out for you to share with your teams. I mean, I think the key thing is just making sure that we're following the rules as best we can, understanding that some parents may have their own objections by it, but depending on how things are done, we could be moved from a facility if spectators are not abiding by those facilities' rules, and we don't want to miss the games because of it.
All right, so questions, open anything that you guys have, because I'm done. So you have to get off. It's your choice.
I do have one quick question.
Go ahead.
In terms of, can managers be on the field? And I only ask that for a reason of injuries, because I seem to get to address many injuries when I'm on the field.
So just do me a favor, just ask, in what stance are you asking?
Like if somebody gets hurt.
No, I mean, the referee would have to ask you to go on the field.
Okay.
Because you are not you can't just run on.
Okay. No, I would wait till after, like when they're on the sideline.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can go see them for sure, right? Because you're probably the best team nurse we've ever had, right? So you can.
I'm the only team nurse you've ever had, but it's okay.
I've had a couple, but you're the best one.
Oh, that's right, Camille. Where's Camille?
You're the best one. So if you can help on the sideline, yes, but you can't run onto the field.
No, I wouldn't run onto the field.
Yeah, okay.
I just mean, like, can I check on the kid on the sideline? Am I
you can,
able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, John, question about high school. For whatever reason, if the other high schools decide to not do fall sports, regardless what the governor says, if they're going ahead with it, are there going to be any other options for kids maybe that are non-Easton, like say if there's a Sharon or a Norwood kid that they're not doing high school sports at all or any training?
So you have to. So this is a funny one because you're being very specific. If MIA does play, but specific schools, districts opt out. I don't know. It's a difficult one because of a liability situation. Now,
Right.
from a club perspective, you can come to training, you can come
Right.
and do workouts, but playing in games,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
because there may not be a league for you. Because
Right.
there's only going to be a league if MIAA says no.
Got it.
So if there's a MIAA says no, then we are going to be in like although we're ready for it, we're going to be in like a really quick mode to get high school teams up and running rather quickly, because
Right.
then we'll be playing the third week of September because we have a modified 6-game season. So the high school season is a different beast for us right now.
Okay.
We'll navigate that directly with those managers once we get going.
All right. Thank you.
It's a great question, and it's the MIA is making a big decision on Wednesday morning. So
Okay.
we'll have a big decision come Wednesday morning.
Thank you.
No problem. And I'm praying that we're playing. I know we're not. I know. All right. Any other questions?
Did you just say that? Ah.
I got to be honest. MIA is. Well, they've already. Tomorrow the tournament committee meets, and they're going to cancel the state tournament already. If they already haven't, and they're going to cancel the sectional tournament already. They'll delay the start till about October will be your first game. So it's going to be a condensed 10-game season, and you'll have a chance to win your league. That's I believe, if we get to play, that will be the best case scenario. So, any other questions, thoughts, comments?
You're a baseball player who just lost the spring in the summer. Oops, sorry.
Don't mute me.
You're right about the baseball player that lost the spring. It stinks, and then they might. Lose.
Yeah, if you're the junior who played baseball and it's your senior year in soccer, like, God, I want to give you a hug. I feel horrible for you.
Well, or the kids who have worked 10 years to get to the high school and they're the best team in a community, and you're not going to be able to play.
Oh.
Is that you?
It's potentially the best team I've ever had. Not just playing style. I mean, I've had amazing teams, right? I mean,
Yeah.
The point is on paper and playing style, these kids should be dynamite to watch. I mean, they're all back, right, from last year. So it should be fun.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but anyway,
You'll still get beaten by Mansfield long throw.
no, they can't throw it in this year, baby. How's Mansfield?
Oh, yeah.
Score? How are they going to
Yeah.
score this year? You can't-
I'm sure Coach Sheridan will find a way of just lumping it the length of the field. Don't worry about that.
I'm just kidding. But any Mansfield parents, don't send this to Steve. I know Steve well. I'll let him know that I made fun of him anyways. He made fun of himself on Twitter when they said that there's no throw-ins. He goes, how am I going to score? All right. That's what he wrote. He wrote on Twitter, how is my high school team going to score? All right, so managers, the one thing I'm going to ask Lindsay to do, though, is get your size, so I can get you guys something for the club for your help. So I'll have her put together, or myself, I'll put together, and she'll distribute just a Google form that'll just tell us, obviously, your name, your initials you want on your jacket, and then just your size, right? So that we can get that for you sooner rather than later. The good thing is Soccer.com will deliver it within this year, which is great because that's an improvement from what we had last year when the manager stuff showed up at my house on July 31st of this year. So I'm not giving you guys the Hummel stuff from last year. It makes no sense. So I'll get you the Adidas stuff now. So if there's nothing else, Greg, anything you have, or Lindsay, that you want to?
Yep. I have one thing. I just want to follow up on the headshots. So the quicker we can get those downloaded onto that Google, whatever, that Google Drive link I sent out. Some teams have already completed. And Eileen, I think you had mentioned, do I have to do it for my team? No, maybe it wasn't you. Someone said about the high school team, but I think maybe we probably should do it just in case. So we should have the high school kids probably drop their pictures in there too.
So Lindsay, quick question, this is Jessica. So I uploaded when I registered my child, when I registered him, I uploaded a picture. So even if I did that, we still need to go and upload another picture?
Yeah, it's different.
Okay.
So they just need a headshot, no sunglasses, no hats, just a basic headshot for the kids. We did it. We had a scrimmage yesterday. I took a bunch yesterday just to get them. So if you practice tomorrow and want to snap them, if you can, Yeah, and just get them uploaded to there so we can start on
Got
the
it.
player cards or the whatever's not going to be the player cards this year, the piece of paper. And I think for birth certificates, there was only a handful. I reached out to them individually instead of having the managers do it because it was just easier. So I took care of that.
Great. Well, it seems like we're
That's it.
ready to kick it off. So Greg, anything that you have? Because I'm gonna take us home.
No, the only thing is that if you haven't completed your safe sport or concussion certifications, please get those taken care of. Thank you to everybody who's gone through the Mass Youth Soccer sign up and registration. I know it can be a little bit daunting, especially getting to the US Soccer Connect and being able to transfer over all the stuff that you may have done in the past. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. And then there's just a handful of folks that I just need to connect with live for a second just to verify your name and date of birth, and then we'll be good.
All right. So, and then manager, I'll end this off with this. The one thing I try to tell everyone, and it's hard because I get to travel, the country and the globe talking about soccer clubs. But the one thing in general that I want to get across is parents get really caught up in the game environment, and it's our job to tell them to chill out. Because technically, when you pay for a club experience, in general, you're paying for 14 games of spring and fall, and then maybe 9 games of a tournament if you don't win any games. You get 3 times 3 is 9. That's 23 games. So when you pay for a club experience, you're paying for the club training, the opportunity to work with coaches, for the experience, not just the games. And that might come up this year. People might get really gung-ho about, well, we didn't play any games. I know, but you train twice a week. You have the actual virtual training. The high school kids got access to the ACA, which you guys will get over the next week. You get access to opportunity. There's different things that the club experience is providing. I just need, you'll have to be supporters of that and really understand that because we will have some challenging times this year. Unfortunately, the numbers will go back up. We will have to go to virtual training and people will start to complain. And my hope is that our managers, because we have our meetings, you'll understand what our hope and desire is for our kids is we just want to make them better. Isolation training is not bad. I just want to get on the field as much as possible this fall. So before we go back to isolation training, we've at least had some fun outdoors. And if we had to go to isolation training and then we get back out in the spring, I can live with it. But I just want to make sure we're prepared as managers and as leaders of the club that, if you're really pissed that we're not getting games in because of something we can't control, don't expect your team parents to be any happier, right? And I know we're all competitive by trade. Just want to make sure we're okay. And that, don't worry, I'll mute you, Jennifer. I got you. I just want to make sure we're on the same page that it's much more than the 98 times we get together. Only 20 of them, 20 plus, are games, right? So I just want to make sure we're on the same page and that we're going to be as upbeat as possible. By the new modifications will make it work. Whatever we have come at us, we're going to make it work. So if you have any ideas, thoughts, suggestions as we navigate this, please talk to Aaron or I. We're here for you guys. And as well, anything that you want to talk about, you can also talk to Lindsay or Greg, and then they can approach us. So that's it for me. Thank you all very much. I'll end the recording now. So if anyone wants to say anything really negative or bad,